All right, so welcome to class today. I'm sorry. Uh-huh. Oh, did I just stop sharing? You can see what I'm saying? I think I just stopped sharing. Okay, let me share my screen again. All right, can everybody see my screen? Can you all see my screen? Yes or no? Can you all see my screen? All right, that's good. Um, so yesterday, so I'm going to actually choose the database that I want to use. I'm going to say use sales, which is the database that I want to use. Sales. So I'm just going to run it. Actually, you can retype it elsewhere. It's fine. It's still going to work. But for me, I don't write like repetition of code. I can just go there and go and rerun it. So I'll select the database that I want to use. Now, I was talking about constraints. So let me select all from this table. Select all from reports, run. Now, if you remember yesterday, I ran the code twice and it gave me duplicate right here. Do you understand? It gave me duplicate right here. And then when we get to data cleaning, we're still going to talk more on duplicate and the likes. Now, but this is basically because we did not set constraint, right? We did not even set constraint, so that's why constraints. Oh, just that rubbish. Constraints, yeah. We'll talk about this one later. But let's talk about how do we now add constraints? What are constraints? Constraints are a set of rules that are guiding what we are doing, our columns, right? So if you remember when I was talking about SQL, I told you that it deals with relational database management system, which means there must be something called unique identifier, right? So in this case now, in this our table, that is showing right here. Let me just rerun the select statement. In this our table that is showing here, the unique identifier is the serial number. So what it's supposed not to do is to duplicate this serial number. So how do we now do that? First of all, let's delete all this information that we have inside here. Let's delete that. Oh, I don't even need to delete that. Let's drop the table. Let's drop the table. So I'm going to drop this table, right? I'm going to drop the report so that I can recreate it. But in a situation whereby you don't want to recreate it, you can automatically add constraints to an existing table. If you check the description and you notice that, okay, if I describe this report and you notice that, okay, there's nothing like constraint set. As you can see here, we have null, right? We have key, we have default, we have extra. Now, the first constraint we are going to talk about is the null, right? The null. As you can see, all these columns, they are set to yes, 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 right here, right? You can notice that, right? All the columns are set to yes, 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 which means it can actually contain empty, right? The column can contain empty. It can be empty. You can decide not to fill anything there. So that is null. So if I'm here now, we have null, we have not null. You just ask two no's, okay? You get back to that. So if you set something to be null or not null, so it's going to, if you set it to be null, it's going to make sure that, okay, this column can actually be empty or there can be something in there. Do you understand? So if you set it to null, now if you set it to not null, right? If you set it to not null basically mean, okay, this column cannot contain empty value. You cannot just leave it empty like that. So which means it cannot be null. Do you understand? So at this point, I don't think we should be discussing, we should be explaining null to us. So null is the same thing as empty. When something is empty, it is null. Do you get it now? So that is null. I'm going to actually drop the table. here. So let me quickly drop the table. It's so easy to drop table. Drop table, then our table name report. That's all. Then run. So as you can see, there is no any table available here. Now let's go back up here. So where we created our table, I want this serial number to be not null, right? So if I set it to not null like this, so I can just put it in front of it, not null. That is, it cannot be empty. It cannot be what's empty. So if I'm to run this, it's going to create the table. Then let's go back and describe the table. Now look at what will happen. You can see here, right here, our serial number is what? No, right? So here it says null and it says no here because based on what I set right up here, the constraint I set right up here is not null, which means that column cannot be empty. So you have to fill something there that is not null. Do you understand? And if you, by default, it is set to null. So actually, before you can run this table, I have to drop it. So let's drop the table again. Let's drop the table again. Then now let's go back up here. If I set it to null, it actually will not have any effect on it because by default, it is always set to null. That is, the column can actually contain empty value. So if we come back up here, if we come back to where we describe our table, right? Where I describe my table, you can see it's no, 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 yes, 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 right? Based on all other column. And as you can see, all other column here, I did not actually have null there, right? But here, it is telling me that yes, by default, it is always set to what? Null. Are we on the same page? Yes or no? Are we on the same page? Do we understand that? Do we understand that? That is null. So I'm actually going to just type in dropping of the table right here instead of me to be scrolling down every now and then. I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to come up here and paste it because most of the work will be right here. Just paste it right there. So I'm going to actually drop this table again, right? So coming. The next one we are going to talk about, we've discussed null and not null. The next one we are going to talk about is unique. Unique, right? Um, come in, please give me a minute. God, please help my life. Okay. All right, the next one is unique. So if I say something is unique, right? So if I said something is unique, so what do I mean by unique? So what is this now? So if you set something to be unique, right? So if you set something to be unique, unique means it cannot be duplicated, right? So it cannot be duplicated. So which means I said, okay, this thing cannot be duplicated. So if I come up, if I come back here and I say, okay, I want my serial number, this serial number, instead of null, I'm going to actually remove it and put unique there, right? Unique. So now I'm going to actually create this table, right? Now let's describe it. Now you can see here under null, it's still saying yes, right? But here we have unique, right? We have what we call unique. So now we have unique. You can see it right here. The key here is unique. If I should go back down here and I run this information right here, it's going to, let's say, insert into report. What is the error here? Error code. Count doesn't match. Oh, I think I've added some things right here. That's not supposed to be. What are the things I added? You stop at date of birth, which is age rather. So I'm going to actually remove this country here. So what this one is telling me is that the column count doesn't match the value at row one. Basically, it's basically telling me that, okay, here I stopped at age. But if you check in my insert, I have country right there, and I've already dropped that table, so I did not add the country column back. That's why it's basically giving me that error that, okay, the number of items that I'm trying to insert really does not tally with the number of columns that I have. So if I'm to rerun this now, it should actually take this, right? So it's telling me that duplicate is 0, warning is 0. So which means it has taken 3 inputs, right? So let me select all so that you can see all the inputs. Select all from report. Yes, you can see right here, I have 3 inputs right here. Now, if I should try to rerun this, it's going to tell me that I will have a duplicate entry, which is going to give me an error because I've already set the serial number to be what? Unique. So which means the serial number can only appear once. It cannot appear more than once. Do you understand? It cannot appear more than once. So if I should try to rerun this with the same serial number, right? Rerun. Now you can see it's giving me an error. Duplicate entry for number what? 3, which is actually the very first item here. Because I've run it once and it has stored this in the database for me, right? It has stored this information in the database for me because it's actually the first one. So if I should try to rerun it again, because I've already set this constraint up here, I've already set the serial number to be unique. Do you understand? So it cannot duplicate it. Now, because we did not set our constraints earlier, that was why we were having a duplicate information, right? But now we've set our serial number to be unique, right? To be what? Unique. Now, if I should decide to remove the serial number now and just rerun it, because our serial number is still set to null, right? That information can still be duplicated because now we did not have serial number again. So there is nothing that is going to use to check maybe is a duplicate entry or not. Now, I'm going to drop this table. Do we understand what I explained just now? Can we use unique for something like order ID? Yes, but unique is not the best option. Do you understand unique now? Do we all understand unique? Let me know if we do. Do we all understand unique? Yes or no? Yeah. All right, that's good. That's good. Okay. Now, for this person that is asking me about if we can use unique for something like order ID, yes, we can, but that's not the person. Now, if you notice, our serial number, which is, yes, I'm coming. Our serial number, which is set to null, which is still stating that, okay, we can have null value there. It does not really help us. Do you understand? It does not really help us because if someone should come now and does not put serial number here and pass in all other names, right, it's still going to be the same thing. It's just that the serial number now, the person will not have serial number, right? It's just like you does not have matric number, right? So now, how do we now set that? We use something that we call primary key. A primary key is a unique identifier. So it is not null and unique. Actually, you can set two constraints at once, right? You can set the two constraints at once. So you can tell it that, okay, this table, this our table, I want it to be unique and also not null. You can set it like this. But instead of writing this long stuff here, so what we're going to do is, instead of this, we have what we call the primary key. A primary key is unique and is also not null. Do we understand? A primary key is what? Unique, and it's also not null. Now, if I should come here now and I say, okay, I want it to be primary key. Primary key. Now, I want to have primary key there. That is, this is our primary key. So a primary key is what? Not null, and it's also unique. So if I'm to recreate this table now, right? Now, let's describe the table again. Now, as you can see here, it is not set to unique anymore. It is set to primary key. And here you can see null is no, which means even if you try to input another information without serial number, it's not going to take it. Do you understand? It's not going to take it because is not null and is the primary key. It has to be unique. So if you try to run the same primary key twice, it's also going to give you an error. Do you get it now? It's also going to give you an error because a primary key is what? Unique and is not null. Do you get it now? So it cannot be empty and it cannot be duplicated. Do we understand? Do we understand? Yes or no? Do we understand? Yes or no? All right. All right. Okay. So that's good. Okay. Someone is raising hand. Let me quickly take your question. Unmute, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please mute one of your devices or reduce the audio.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
This my own invoice ID, that's serial number, because I put it as primary key, which is not showing me the null area is showing me no, and the key area is showing me pride as PRI primary. So that doesn't mean that if I'm trying to run another code for another company, not in this same page or maybe another page, this invoice ID will not be able to work there because it's a primary key here.
Okay, we have something that we call a foreign key. You
I don't know
can
if you understand what I'm
reference a
saying, sir.
primary key in another table. Do you understand? You can reference a primary key in another table. So it's still going to work. If it is in another table, it's still going to work. But if you want to connect the two tables together, that's when you now reference it as a foreign key. I'm still going to explain foreign key to you, but we are not just using it now because we use foreign key when we are trying to deal with two or more tables. I'm just going to take Emeka's iPhone, jot down your question. After the class, I'll take all your questions. Emeka's iPhone, please unmute.
Okay, on the serial number, is there any way we can use, let's assume 001? Because I try using it, it returns only 1, 2, 3. 001 to the last one. Is there can primary key handle it?
001, right?
Yes.
So if you put 001, it's going to regard it as nothing. Do you understand? So it's going to remove all those zero and just give you one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is nothing we can.
It's just like if you use Excel too, like you want to type a phone number, zero something zero. So it's going to remove the first zero.
Yes, there's a way it's done. Now you go and customize it
You
and return
change
it.
it to
Uh-huh.
you change it to what?
You in Excel, you
Mm-hmm.
go customize from
Mm-hmm.
there. From your formatting, you go to your customize, then increase the number of figures there, one to up to the figure of
Now, I
the.
would like you to understand something. Coding is different from Excel. Excel, you have a ribbon to click on, but this one, you are the one doing it yourself. It's just like Python also. This is actually not your first time. You've been in class for quite a while. It's just like
I know.
Python. You don't have buttons to click here. You write whatever you want to do.
Okay, I just asked because I tried it. It returned 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You guys, after this one, I'm not going to take any other question again because we have a lot of things to cover. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You're
Hello.
muted. Good evening, boss.
Oh, good evening. Sorry, a follow-up question to what Emeka just asked. I'm trying to look at it in a situation whereby you put in the primary key is going to return 1, 2, and 3 in the order. So in a situation whereby you want to customize your primary key, maybe student name start with maybe the first letter and the second letter, then with the numbers. How are you going to do it? Is it
Okay.
that it's going to return? And
Yeah.
that's what I want to find out.
The moment I've mentioned this countless times, the moment you have, let's say, student number is um AS34, right? Something like this. Let's say AS34, something like this, right? This is no more an integer. You are going to save this as a variable character, as a virtual. It's now a text. There's nothing like alphanumeric here. So you won't set this to be int. You set it to be what? Virtual. Do you understand?
Yeah, I've gotten it. I've gotten it. Thank you.
All right. So that is primary key. Do you understand? So we basically use primary key to set a constraint that, okay, well, this column cannot be empty, right? And it has to be unique. That's primary key. All right, let's go to the next one, which is check, right? I'm going to actually drop this table again, right? I'm going to drop this table. So if I should drop this table, if we come here, the next one is foreign key. I'll come back to foreign key. We have check. Now, we use this check to check for an information, right? So for instance, if I want to check something like let's say something like email. Let me add email to this place now. Email, right? And our email, let me put comma here, and our email is going to be virtual of let's say 40, right? Now, before you can put your email, what are the things that you look out for to be sure that, okay, this is email? If you are filling a form on a website, if you put something that is not email, it's going to return it back to you that, oh, this is not an email, right? Which means it's checking for an information there, right? So who can tell me what is that thing that if you are filling email, what is that thing that is checking? What is that thing that is checking? Tell me now, I'm waiting. It's checking something. So we have check. Check what? In this email now, what are we checking? Check what? What are we checking? You can also set it to be not null. I'm going to come back to that. So what are we checking? Characters. So we are checking where email, we now use something called like. So I want to check the at then. So we are still going to talk more on this like later. But now if you are using like, we are checking something in like a range of text, right? So for instance, if I have my email here, right, and I say, okay, check for something, right? For instance, if I say select check, check what? Check, let's say, my name, like a text. So you should check for Akim Abiodun at gmail.com. So what is it checking for? It's looking for like what? It's now looking for a let's say percentage at something. So at, then it's also looking for what else? If you just want to check at alone, we can say okay, percentage at percentage. So we'll come back there as, let's say, email, as email, something like this. We close that code. There's an error here. Yeah, it's not going to actually take that. It's not going to take that. It's not going to take this. We use it to check a column, but this is fine. We'll come back to it. Now, what we are checking it for is if you should fill your email and you don't put at there, right? Let's say percentage, and I'm looking for the at keyword, right? Then let's say something can be before underscore, then something can be after it, right? So something can be before it, something can be after it. And also, it's also looking for dots, percentage dots. Something can also be after it. So it's looking for percentage at, and it's also looking for dot. So it can be .com, it can be, if you're using your organization website, it can be okay, favor at digitalworldtech.academy. So you can basically specify that .com. You understand? We have some organization that, okay, .org, something. So you can look for .com, but that at must be there. So something can be at the beginning, something can be at the end. Then the dot also must be there for us to verify that, okay, this is an email address. So this percentage underscore, this percentage without the underscore is also going to work, right? It's also going to check it without the underscore, something like this. It's also going to work like this, right? But the reason I put the underscore is it's basically looking for something at the beginning, something at the end, right? Something at the beginning, something at the end, something like this. Or you can just remove this because this underscore at the beginning can serve for both of them. All right, so if you want to run something like this, all right, you can see that here we did not have any error. So let's describe this and see. So if you look for age, if you look for email, you will not see anything here, right? You will actually not see anything right here. But now let's try to fill in our email. Let me just clear this. Okay, let me just copy this now. Let me just copy this and put it down here. Now let me put email here. Let me just close the code and put email here. I'm coming. Let me just put something that is not an email. So let me just say Akim 234. 234, like this, something like this, right? If I should try to run this, you can actually give me, it's going to actually give me an error right here. Check constraint report underscore check so is violated, right? Because it's actually looking for something. It's looking for the at, and it's also looking for the dot, right? So if I come here now and I put only the at, if I say at Gmail, I did not put .com, right? It's also going to give me an error that is it's violating something, right? So I can now say, okay, at gmail.org, something like this. It doesn't really matter. Since I did not specify that, okay, it's going to be it must be .com. It must be something. I did not specify it here. If I want it to be, it must be .com, I can now specify that, okay, .com, right? Do you get it? So I can specify it there. But here, I just specify the dot. The dot must be part of it, right? So we don't care what is at the end. because here we've already put percentage here. That's okay. Oh, this dot can either be anywhere, right? It can be anywhere. Now I basically put underscore here to tell SQL that after this dot, something must follow it, right? Something must what? Follow it. You can't just end at dot alone right here. So if I just say dot, right? If I just say dot here, it's still going to give me an error. That is, it has violated something. And I can't just come here and say at dot, right? Here, I've basically specified that, okay, oh, there must be something in front of it at, there must be something at the back of the at, this percentage also represents that, okay, there must be something at the back of the dot. Do you get it now? There must be something at the back of the dot. There must be something in front of the at. There must be something at the back of the at. There must be something in front of the dot, right? So now let's run this and see dot what? Let's say dot all, right? Now if I'm to run this, now you can see there's no any error. There's no any error. Do you understand? Now it's saying charcoal dot something at now. Basically, that's not a problem, right? That's not a problem. That's not the dot you are looking for, right? So let's do that again. Let's put number 4 here. I'm still going to use the same information. I'm just going to change the serial number to be number 4. Now, you see, that's also going to work, right? So if I now say, okay, let's change this to number 4, right? Now say, okay, Akim dot 233@gmail.com, right? Because I've specified that something must be in front of the at, right? So I did not actually specify what is going to be in front of the at. So whether you use dot, 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 or whatever you use, it doesn't really matter. And here, I said here, there must be dot, right? And the dot must come after the at, right? So every other thing before the at doesn't really matter, right? Now it's going to check for the at, and also after the at, it's going to check for the dot right here. So if I'm to come here now and run this, we are not going to have an error. Do you understand? So we are not going to have an error. Do we get this? Do we understand this? So if I'm to select everything, right here, you can see. Now, that's the purpose of the check. You are using it to check for something. Now, we don't only use it for email, we use it to check for a lot of other things too, right? We use it to check for a lot of other things. Now, let's say we want to check. I'm going to actually drop this table. Let me drop the table here. Let's say age, all the people that their age is greater than. So I can say, okay, check. So the people that will fill this form, their age must be greater than 25, right? So I can say, okay, their age must be greater than, let's say, greater than or equals to 18, right? So anybody that their age is less than 18 is not going to take that. Right. But if your age is greater than or equals to 18, so let's run this. No error. Now let's go back here and I'll put age. So if I'm to put age here as, let's say age is 13, it's still going to give me an error that it has violated something. Do you get it? It has violated something because the age is less than 18. So if I'm to put age of 19 here and run it, you can see we will not have any error. Do we understand this? Do we understand check? Do you understand? All right. So since we are using enum here, we don't need to use check because automatically enum will check the gender. Because we are using enum here, we don't need to use check. Enum will be the one that will check between these three. Do we get this? Yes or no? All right. So, um, said I'm not going to take any question, no, but let me take your question. Yeah, on mute.
Oh, sorry, sir. Just a quick one.
All right.
So for the age, we don't need to put that percentage in front and the one behind. It will just go that way.
Here we are we are checking a condition here, right? Here
Okay.
we are checking
Yeah.
for text or wildcard.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Do
Thank
you
you
understand?
very much.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Any question on this? Now, I've talked about check. The next one is defaults. Emeka's iPhone. Be careful. Oh. Be careful, sir. Gold. You push it. What happened now is getting too much.
Okay,
Good
you asked
evening.
if there's any
Yeah.
question. Maybe we start from.
Okay.
Okay, still on the chip. The I was just looking at the percentage character. Is it not standing in for a specific character? I don't understand. I was thinking they're going to be only check for app because that's the only thing we can see in email, not percentage. So what is it standing for?
The percentage, right?
Yes.
So basically, this percentage is not is basically saying, okay, there can be any numbers of alphabets before it, and there can be any length of alphabets after it. Do you understand?
Okay, understood.
So
Now,
yes,
yeah, so
wait,
it's
wait,
not it,
wait, wait.
okay.
But now, if you use percentage, this one is basically does not care about the position, which means we can start with at, right? We can start with at, you can start with anything, right? At must be part of it. Now, what this underscore is looking for is basically specifying that, okay, there must be a text before the at. There must be something before the at, before the underscore. We are still going to talk more about this like later. But now, what this percentage is doing is at must be part of our text. It can be at the beginning, it can be at the end, it can be in the middle. It does not care about the position. But what this underscore is basically looking for is there must be something before the at. Do you understand? Percentage is not looking for position. What this one is just saying is basically looking for at, right? So if I have at Kim like this, it's going to take it, right? If I have a Kim at like this, it's going to take it. But with this underscore, right, I'm basically specifying that, okay, oh, at must not start it. There must be something before the at. Do you get it? And there must be something after the at. So you can't just say Akim at Akim or Akim at. Percentage is not looking for position. It's just making sure that, okay, oh, in your text, there is at there. Do you get it? So it does not care about the position. But this underscore now, we are basically specifying that, okay, there must be something before it and there must be something after it. So this underscore works for this one, right? Then it's going to now say, okay, there must be something after that. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, but I still want to ask you one.
Okay.
I understand your explanation on that. What I want to ask more is, does it mean that aside using percentage, I can also use another character to indicate what you just
No, no,
explained?
no, 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 no.
Or
It has to
okay,
be
just percentage.
percentage in as much as you are checking a
Okay.
character or you are
Oh, okay.
checking for a
Is
text.
that right?
So it does not necessarily have to be at. If what you want to check for is male, as male must be part of it, you can put it like that. Do you understand? If
Okay.
if it
Yeah,
is
I do.
just a letter, it's like it works like that. But in this case,
Okay.
we are looking for at, then dot.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
You're welcome. Emeka's iPhone, please unmute. Maybe I'll be the one that will collect that your iPhone.
Okay, when you talked
Said okay,
about
right? Everybody can hear it. Send your iPhone to me on Monday.
okay, send your address.
No problem.
Okay, so when you talked about the constraint or the check
Yeah.
on age, I was thinking about filling a form online. They will tell you your age limit should not pass. It should not be less than 18 and not more than 35. So how do you put that one there?
Okay. That's when we use and age
Okay.
is less than or equals to 35.
Mhm. Okay. The two conditions must be met.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I think we are going to use or rather instead of and. We are going to use or.
And no, when you say or, you're given a condition. Either you're up to 35 or you're not under 18.
Yeah.
It should be and. Well, you are the teacher.
Okay, if we use and to check two different columns. Do you understand? So I can say, okay, age should not be greater than 18 and
18.
male and gender should be equals to male. You are checking the two conditions. Don't forget, I taught you and with or in Python Essential.
Exactly. That's where I'm coming from. That's why I'm saying
Now,
what
if you are using and, you can't use and for one column. Do you understand? You
I
can't use
agree.
and for one column. You are going to, if it is a one column, it's going to be or. So this age must be this or this.
Okay.
You get it now. If you now say, okay, age must be greater than 18 and gender must be male.
Oh,
You get it?
okay. Bringing two columns together.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It can confuse you sometimes, but don't let it confuse you. If you are dealing with one column, we use or. If you are dealing with two columns, we use and.
And
Do you get
okay. Yes.
that? You say, okay, go and read your Python essential very well. You understand.
Okay.
All right. So now here, this is checking to, you can actually check multiple conditions. You can check, that's the purpose of check. So if I'm to drop that table, if I'm to drop this table right here and to recreate it now, I'm checking age is greater than 18 and age must not be greater than 35. So this is between 18 to 35. Now, we also have between. Instead of this, you can say age. You also have between 18 and 35. You also have something like this. This is also another thing. This also works. So instead of using two different things now, you're now saying, okay, between 18 and 35. This is easier, right? This is easier, right? Between 18 and 35. So if you just run this, no error. Now, if I should go back to this place and I set this person age to be 40, this should give me an error. It's going to give me an error. But if I'm still using 35, you can see no error. Are we getting it? That will not include both 18 and 35. I just put 35 here. I just put 35 here. It's going to include 18 and 35. Do you understand? Because you said between 18 and 35. So it's greater than or equals to 18 and less than or equals to 35. Did you get it? Don't make that mistake, please. All right. I hope it's not going to be only this constraint that we are going to do today. The next one is default, right? we have what we call default. Default is the last result, right? Whereby if you did not fill your location, let's say if you don't fill your location, it should just give us a default value, default generated value. So default, then you can set your default value to be here. So if you don't fill your location, your default will be what? Unknown. Your location is unknown or unspecified. Whatever you like, you can put it there. That's the function of default. Do you get it? That's the function of default. So that's the function of default, whereby if you don't fill your location, right? If you don't fill your location, then the default value is unknown, or whatever you like, you put it here. Do you get it? This is a text. So whatever you like, you put it there. So if I'm to recreate this table now, no error. Now let's describe the table. Now you can see here is going to be default generated. And you can see it in here. Whatever text you put here will be shown here. So if I change, let me drop this table now and change the unknown now to unspecified. Unspecified. Unspecified right here. Then run. Now let's describe it. You will notice that here it's now unspecified. Are we getting SQL now? We are breaking it down. How many of you are enjoying SQL? Are you enjoying SQL? Are you enjoying SQL? Don't worry, SQL is nothing. We will break it down to anything. God is saying no. What happened? Huh? There's nothing there. It's the same way we playing a fast one on us. How? What is the excess of default? Now, the excess of default is if you don't fill that information there, right? That is, if you did not specify your location, right, it's going to result to unspecified. That is, SQL, instead of SQL to show you that, oh, it's null, it's empty, right? So it's going to automatically fill it as unspecified. You are not enjoying it. Don't worry, it's simple. So that is that. Do you understand? That is that. Any question? Any question? Do we have any question? Okay, that is, please unmute.
Yes, sorry, sir. I just want to need a confirmation, though I'm just convinced about the workhouse that we are using. Is it more of like, no, using the check, is it more of like data validation?
For which one? Is it the check?
The check function, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it more of like data validation? Does it check, does it validate the data before accepting it?
Yeah, it's going to validate it.
So with that one, what's the difference in it with the what it's called? Uh, the voucher. Okay, I've gotten it. It's okay. I've gotten the answer of it. Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Any other question? Any other question? All right. So let's move forward. Is default for just location? No, you can use it for anything. You can use it for anything. Do you understand? You can use it for anything. Do you understand? You can use it for anything. All right. So let's move forward. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is foreign key, and we are not going to use it now, right? So I'm just going to explain it for you. We have foreign key. So what foreign key is used for is to link two tables together, right? You might not understand it immediately, but when we get to that aspect, we're going to build more on it. So what foreign key is used for is just making sure that, okay, you are referencing, it's just like if you have primary key, then you have another table whereby you are referencing that primary key. So that is when you use foreign key. So in one table is a primary key, then in another table it becomes a foreign key. But let's leave that for now. Let's go to importing data before we talk about updates, right? Let's quickly import the data. We don't want to be just typing in our data. So if I drop the data set in your group yesterday, and I don't know where I save it on my own here. Okay, this is it right here. Now, SQL can only take in two data sets. Two data sets. SQL can only take in two data sets. It can either be a CSV file or a JSON file. So you can import Excel file into SQL. You can import Power BI file into SQL. What you can do is you can only import a CSV or JSON file. So this data is saved at CSV, right? So if you have a data set that you don't know how to save it as CSV, once you open it on your Excel, though I've already saved this one as CSV, the one I dropped in your group, right? So just go to File, then here you have Save As. Choose the location, then you see comma separated. This is, where's that thing again? This is comma delimited, right? This one. So you can save it as a CSV file, comma delimited, right? Like this. You can save it, just choose it and click on save. So that's the type of data set you can actually import into SQL. So I have this one named dataset. So how do we import it in? So to import a data in, your very first step is you come here to the database that you want to use, right? Just come to the database that you want to use. So I want to use sales over on it. Make sure you're on it. Right click, right? You will see something called Table Data Import Wizard. Table Data Import Wizard. Table Data Import Wizard. So I'm going to take it once again. Go to the database that you want to use. Over on it. Make sure your cursor is on it. Right click on it, right? Now you go to Table Data Import Wizard. Table Data Import Wizard. Now you can see table data import allow you to easily import CSV or JSON data file. It is basically specified right here. CSV or JSON data file. You can also create a destination table to on the fly, but don't worry, right? So here we don't have an existing table that we want to put our data in. We just want it to create a table by default for us, right? So I'm just going to click on browse to choose the location of the file. So it is located on my desktop, and this is it right here. Data sets, which is the one that I want to use, right? I'll just click on open, and here this is the data set. This is the path of the data set, right? Just click on next. Here you can see if you have an existing table whereby there are tables, you're already using the table, you just want to add more data storage, you can use an existing table, right? But for me, I wanted to create a new table, right? You are totally lost. Let's take it again. I said if you want to import a data into SQL, and I said you can only import two data types, CSV or JSON file. CSV or JSON file. So you come here to the database that you want to use, right? Not from here. Wow. Don't worry. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to take questions. So just go to the database that you want to use. Right? Click on it. Right? I'll come to Table Data Import Wizard. Right? Browse it. Choose the location that you want to use. Click on Next. Here, you can use an existing table. If you already have a table that you want to use, you can see it's showing me one table here, which is the report that I created, but I'm not using that existing table. I want to create a new table. So I'm going to give that table a new name. So instead of data set, which was the name of our data, I'm going to use a new name. So I'll just call it retail. I'll just call it retail, right? Then our database name is sales. So here you have the opportunity to choose other databases, but for me, I'm just going to use sales, right? So I'll then click on next. Here now, this is where you check the data type, right? So order ID, which is this one. The order ID is integer. Obviously, it contains number, so you guess that right. Customer ID is also integer. Guess that right. The next one is customer name, which is a text, right? Followed by gender, a text. City is also a text. Country is also a text. Now, order date. This is this one. Order date is not a text, it's a date right here. So I'll come here to, instead of date, instead of text, I'll come here and change it from text to date time. From text to date time. Now, it's going to give me this format. So we have percentage Y, percentage M, percentage D. So basically, we are still going to talk about dates more, right? But for this point, you can see the year comes first, followed by the month, followed by the day. So Y stand for year, M stand for month, D stand for date. So we have year, month, and date. So I'm just going, there's no hours, there's no minutes, there's no seconds there. So I'm going to delete hour, minutes, and seconds that's there. I'm going to delete it. Then I told you double is the same thing as decimal, right? So it's the same thing as decimal unit price, cost price, all these ones, they are decimal. So it's going to save it as double because the reason why it's saving it as double is because if you are using our decimal, we can specify the number of whole number and the number of decimal that is going to have. But with double, you don't need that. What of product ID? Product ID is a text because it has alphabet and number. So it's going to be saved as a text. Do you understand? It's going to be saved as what? A text. So, do we understand it up to this point? Do we understand it up to this point? It's alphanumeric. It's alphanumeric. So there's nothing like alphanumeric. So it's either you have a text or you have a number. So there's nothing like alphanumeric. Do you get it? So in programming, if you have alphabet and number, it is saved as text, right? If you have a number, it's saved as int, and if you have a text, it's saved as text. So if you have a combination of text and number in all software, it's going to save it as text. All right. So after that, just click on next. And from here, just click on next. It's going to actually import your data in. Click on next. So it's going to import your data in. You can actually see the log. You can click on show log. It's going to show you how the data is importing. So it has finished importing it, right? Finished performing the task. So it has finished importing the task, the data set. It has finished importing it. So I'm just going to hide it if you like. If you want to see it, you can click on show logs or hide logs. Then after that, just click on next. And you can see here it's telling me that I have 201 records imported, which is great. So I'll just click on finished. Now, if I'm to refresh this schema and open the table, you can see I already have reports, which was the one that we have been using, creating and dropping, right? And now you can see I have the second one, which is retail, which means I can now select all from. So if I say select all from our table name now, retail, right? Then run. Here I have this data set right here. You can see I have this data set right here. Do we understand this? Do we get it up to this point? Or you would like me to drop the table? What if you want to import? What if what you want to import is a write-up without table or column? I already told you, you are dealing with a database management system, relational database management system, which means whatever you want to install has to be structured. So it must be stored in a table, which must have a row and column. Don't forget, SQL is what? A relational database management system. If you still don't understand that, here, a relational database management system, it is organized into two or more tables. Each table must have what? A column and a unique identifier. So you can't just import a TXT file. Let's go back up here. So it is a language that is used to interact with relational database management system. So if you have to come to types of databases now, you will see here you have relational database management system, which means it has to be stored in a table. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, thank you very much. So which means your information must which means your information must be stored in a row and column. Thank you, Stella James. Do we understand that? Would you like me to retake this or I should go ahead? Emeka's iPhone. God. Please unmute.
You go say today. I don't remember you. Okay. Now, since we imported a data set,
Yeah.
can we apply constraint to them? Can we apply to them in
Yes,
case
you
it
can.
comes out the constraint?
Yeah, you can apply constraints to them.
Okay.
You can apply constraints to them. Do you
Okay.
get it? He said, okay, I'm coming.
Because I'm thinking how I'll extract the entire data set, then
Okay.
start applying
Yeah, there is a shorter way. I'm not going to write code now. There's a shorter way. But someone said I should retake this one. I'm going to show you the shorter way. Don't worry.
okay.
All right, Daddy Selby, please unmute. I'm going to drop this table and retake it again. All right, go ahead.
Okay, please, I want you to create a new page so that we work on this because the first one is a report page. And if you're going to do the same thing at the report page, it might confuse. So if you can create a new page so that we
Okay.
work on it, I
All
think
right.
that's
No problem.
thanks very much.
So let me just create a new query entirely. So in this case, you will have your database created first. Yes, you must have a database. Yes, you must have a database. All right, so let me quickly drop this. So another way to drop a table is if instead of writing a code, right, you can right click on it, right? You see drop table right here. You see drop table right here. So you can drop the table. But if you like, you can write your code, drop table. Our table name is retail. That's the table that I want to drop. Emma, please unmute. Emma, also, Please unmute.
Okay, sorry.
Good
I just
evening.
want to see how you're going. Good evening. Sorry. Pardon my manners anyway. I want to see how you create a table. So like this one, I want you to just do it so that we'll just be seeing it from beginning.
Yeah, I'm not creating the
You know,
table.
this
It's just SQL that will create the table itself. We'll
okay,
give you an
you know,
existing table.
how do you say you are you going to close the initial one and then start on that one? That's what I just want to know.
Yeah, I will delete that table and import it again.
Okay, okay, okay.
So that's the code I
So
wrote
once you
in here.
delete it, that means
Drop
that
the
one
table.
is gone.
Yes, once you drop it, it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to drop this table, right? It's done. You can see it's no more here. So now what I'll do, right click, table data import wizard, right? Just click on browse and choose wherever you want it to be, where your data is coming from. So in my own case is on is on my desktop, so I'll just choose it. Right, so like I said, it can only take CSV or JSON file. Then after that, click on next. So here, if you have an existing table whereby you just want to add data to an existing table, you can click on this, use an existing table. But if you're using an existing table, make sure that the columns match, right? It matches with each column. So what I'll do here is I'm going to create a new table on database name sales. And here I'm going to actually rename this to the retail, right? That's the name that I want to use. And just click on next. So check the data types. The only data type we change here is order date. So I'm going to change it. So you can see order ID is integer, customer is integer, customer name is text, gender is text, city is text, country is text, right? Order date is a date, which means it's not an integer or a text. So I'm going to change it to date time, right? And the format for my date is year hyphen month hyphen day. Now, I need to clarify this. If it is forward slash, so you are not going to use hyphen here. If it is something like, let me open my Excel. If the date is, something like this, let me zoom in so that you can see. If the date is 2024, forward slash 10 forward slash 19. Something if you have this format, right? If you have this format, so which means in your day month here now is no more hyphen, is now forward slash. So you are going to change it, this hyphen now to forward slash. Do you understand? Do you understand? So you don't have to always leave it as hyphen, right? Whatever they use to separate the date, that is what you are also going to use to separate the date. And you have to follow the format. We are still going to talk more on the date formatting later, but we are not yet there. So now, after that, just check if every other thing is complete. Yes, and they are correct. Yes. So after that, just click on next. Click on next. And this is going to import your data in for you, right? Just click on next and click on finished. So if you have to refresh this, here you have your retail. So I'm going to select all instead of dropping it. So select all from our table name, which is retail, run it, and this is going to give me all the information that I have under retail table, right? So now let's now talk about, I want to add a constraint to each of these. So instead of writing your code one by one, we can do something like, you remember that I said whenever you want to work on, whenever you want to change something on a table, you use what? Who can remind me? You want to change something on a table, not in. It's different from changing something in a table. So like you want to change data types, you want to change the you want to change the data types, you want to change something. Yes, you use alter. So I can now say, okay, alter. Let's describe this table first. Describe our table name. the table name is retail, right? Run it. Now you can see. So let's say I want to set this other ID to be primary key, right? So I want to use alter to do that. So I can say alter my table name, alter table, alter table. The table name is retail, right? Add constraints. So I want to add constraints. So add constraints. Then you give your constraint a name, whatever name, it doesn't really matter. So I want to set it to be primary key. So I can just say PK underscore ID, whatever you want to use. So primary key underscore ID, right? And I'll put the constraint I want to use here, primary key, right? So in a bracket, so this is where you now specify the column that you want to use. So the column is order underscore ID. Okay, sorry. So adding adding a constraint. So now I'll now pass in the column that I want to use. So order ID, order underscore ID, which is what I want to use. So that's the column that I want to use. So close this and run. All right, we did not actually have any error. So if you have to check, describe our table now, you can see order ID is now what? Our primary key, right? Is primary key. So I want to set customer ID to unique, right? This customer ID, I want to set it to unique. So to do that, instead of, if you don't want to write your code, you can, if you come to this table, right? If you come to the table, you will see three buttons right in front of it. You will see three, if I over on the table, you will see three, you will see this three button in front of it, right? So you see it right in front of it. So now if you see it in front of it, this one that I see in front of it. So you see checking. This is for you to display your table. If I click on it, so it's going to run select statement for me, right? If I click on it, it's going to run the select statement for me. But that's not what I want. If I click on this settings here, click on it, right? Just click on it. That will open a new thing for me here. We're going to open a new. So if it doesn't show this for you, right, maybe because your space is not, it's not showing it for you. You are lost. Okay. Now remember that here, I added something like this. I added constraint with code, right? I added a primary key to this other ID. It was not in primary key before. So I added that right here. Do you get it now? I added it. Now, if instead of me to use code to add a constraint to this primary key, to this table, right? Instead of me to use code to add a constraint to this table, what I will do here is I can actually over on that table, exactly that particular table that I want to use, right? So now here, now you can see there are three buttons here. The first one is information about the table, which is like a description for you, right? The second one is the settings, is like setting a table. Do you understand? And the third one is to select a table. Do you get it now? Is to select a table. So what I want to do is the second one, I want to set some things in that table. Do you get it now? Like a primary key or something. Now, what I want to do here is I want to like click on this one at the middle, click on it. So if I click on it, it's going to show me all the available column. So if it doesn't show it to you, if it doesn't show all the available fields to you, right? If it doesn't show it to you, so what that means is the space is too small, right? So it's not going to show you. So what you can do is you can actually turn off this one that is showing down here. That's by coming up here to turn it off. You can see it. So if I click on it, you can see it's turned off. So if I'm back to wherever I want to work, I can turn it on again. Turn it on and off. So here now you can now set, you can see all these constraints, right? Primary key, not null, unique, there's binary, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. You can actually browse about it. All you just have to do. So if I want to set my customer ID to unique, so I can click on unique, but a customer ID can be duplicated. So you can see, you can use unique right here, right? So all you just have to do is check the constraint that you want to use. You can browse about all this other one, right? This is auto increment. Yes, I'm supposed to talk about auto increment, but maybe in our next class I can talk about it. So this generated column, this is like your default, right? If I click on this, so I can write my default value right here, right? So I can write defaults, right? So without that, you have to click on that for you to be able to write your default. If it's not checked, you won't be able to write anything in this default, right? So it's not going to take it, obviously. So, but if you want it to be default, you have to check it first. Then you can write your default value there. So all these are the constraints. And if you come down here, you see here, this is where you have your data type. And you also see your your keys here, right? You also see the keys that you want to use here. That's your constraint. So if I click on the city and I want city to be zero field, that is, you should fill it with zero. So you can do it, you can select it right here, or you can see it here. This is zero field here, ZF, right? You can see it right here. Do you understand this up to this point? Do we understand it or should we take it? So here now, you can, okay, so answer that should we take it? I'm not saving anything. I'll click on don't save. So now I said, if you don't want to use your key, so even if you want to change a column name, you want to modify it, whatever you want to do, and you don't want to write a code to do it, you don't want to use code to do it, just over on the table that you want to use, right? Just over on the table, then you have three ribbons right here. You click on the one that is in the middle, right? Click on the one that is in the middle, right? So it's going to display this for you, but if it doesn't, let's say due to space, it doesn't really display it for you. If I should raise this up more, you won't even see anything here. So you can actually reduce the size of this, your output here. So it's going to show it, but it's still, if it still doesn't show it, you can come here and turn off your output on and off, on and off. So you can turn it on and off. And here you see all the available column. You see the data types here, and you can actually change your data types here too. You can change the data type. You can change the column name from whatever you want to change it. So you can type it and you can come here and change the column name to whatever you want it to be. Did you get it now? So instead of, let's say I don't want to use city, I want to use location. So you can double click on it to change that, or you come down here and change it to, okay, instead of city, change it to location. right? Then if I go to the next one, you can see it is changed here, but I need to apply it here. If I don't apply it, it's not going to take effect. Do you get it? So another thing is you can also come down here. So to change it, this part, you can come here to change it to, you change the data types, right? The default value, which is default generated, which is this one, default value that you see here, you can type it here if you don't want to come to this place. And if I click on it and I can type it here, do you understand? But if you don't want to do that, you can also come down here and type your default key right there. Do you understand? Emeka's iPhone is raising hand. Please unmute.
Okay, I'm here again. Okay, shown us the automated way of getting these things done.
Yeah.
Then remember, how are we going to handle the age limits, just in case we meet a column that needs a limit, age limit?
You can't do that here. You can't do that with this one.
Okay,
There's no
okay,
check here.
okay,
So
okay.
that means
Like
you have to
the one of
write the
email, we
code.
can't do it here. The
You
one of
can't.
email, we can't. Okay,
You can't. You have to type it in here. You have to type the code. Do you get
okay,
it? Yeah.
okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. So you can, once you're done, just click on apply. Right, just click on apply, then it's going to apply it to you for you, and you can close it. So I'm not going to save it, I'm going to do don't save. So then the moment you click on apply, it's going to apply for you. Then you can actually close it. Right. Another way is if you now want to do the checking, so you can now use your alter, then add the column that you want to check. So I can just say okay, alter our table, right? Table retail, then add constraint, add constraints. So let's say check. I want to do CHK check. So check age. So that's the name of the constraint. Then the constraint will now be check. What did I want to check? You're passing the column name. Age is greater than or age between 18 or 19 and 40. Now you can close this, right? Then close your code. So because I'm not sure if we have age in these columns, so there's nothing like age there. But you understand it now. Do we understand it up to this point? Yes, you code it. Yes, thank you. Do you understand it up to this point? Do we all understand it up to this point? Okay, now let's go to updates. All right. So now let's go to updates. Let's go to update here. So here they've calculated our total selling price, total cost price, and profit. But here let's actually drop it and do it again, right? Let's drop it and do it manually. So in a situation whereby they did not give us the total selling price, the total cost price, and the profit. So we want to do it ourselves using the update. So I'm going to actually drop these three columns, TSP, TCP, and profit. So I'm going to alter the table. Then the table name is retail, right? Drop column. Column that I want to drop is TSP. TSP. Dropping the column again. Dropping TCP. TCP. Comma here. I'm dropping TCP, and I'm also dropping profits. I'm also dropping profit. Close it. So I'm dropping this three. So I need to on this back and be sure that I have. So I've dropped the three column. So if I'm to select all now, you can see we don't have the three column. I intentionally remove it, but we can delete the data set in it. But I intentionally just drop that column. Now, let's add the column again back so that it's going to be empty, right? So we can now do the calculation ourselves. So alter table, this is dropping column, dropping columns, right? So here now I want to add multiple column, adding columns. Okay. All right, alter table. Our table name is retail, right? So I want to add, so I'm just going to copy this three. Instead of drop column, I'll just change the three to add. So instead of drop column, I'll change this one to add column, and add column. Now I need to put the data type. This is going to be double, right? Because we are expecting a decimal. This is also going to be the double. This is also going to be double. Now close the code right here. All right. So let's run this. So this is not a new thing to us. So let's select all. All right. You can see our total selling price is empty, our total cost price is empty, and our profit is empty. Now, how do we now calculate that? How do we calculate that? So let's calculate that. So to do something in a column, right? To do something in a column, we use the update. So I'm just going to say update our table name. So there's nothing like update table. So just update table, that's our table name, retail, right? So I want to set TSP to be equals to quantity multiplied by, so TSP is total selling price. So multiply by backtick unit price, backtick, then close my code. Do we understand? So it's going to update our table name, set the TSP, right? Remember I said SQL is case insensitive. Do you understand? SQL is case insensitive. So whether you use uppercase for this or you use lowercase, it doesn't really matter. So it's going to do the work. Do you understand? So now it's going to multiply quantity by unit price. Now, who can tell me why do I use backtick here? Why do I use backtick here? Why don't I use backtick for this, but I use backtick for this? Because of the space, because I have a space. Yes, thank you. You're following. All right, so now let's run this. Oh, we have an error. Here it's telling me that we are using a save mode. Thank you for that. Now, what does a save mode mean? A save mode helps SQL to save stuff. Right now, if you are dealing with a database, right? Um, if you are dealing with a database, for you to be sure, because there's nothing like Control Z. So by default, SQL will put it in save mode. Do you understand? SQL will put it in save mode, whereby whenever you want to update something, because you know you are making changes now to the column, to the data sets, right? You are not just changing the column name, you are making changes to the data set. So that's why it's putting us in a safe mode. So for you to update or delete something, it's going to tell you that, okay, you are in a safe mode, right? So if you actually want to make that effect, you turn off the safe mode. So if you look at most of my code right here, most of my code, I always set SQL or safe mode to be equals to 0. That is, 0 means false. So by default, it is on, which is true, right? So what I'll do is I'll do set SQL save underscore update. So I love to write it at the top. So here, turning off the save mode. So we'll do set SQL underscore save underscore updates equals 0. Set SQL underscore save underscore updates equals 0. Now your updates must have S. Set SQL underscore save underscore updates to be equals to 0. I love to put it at the top whenever I'm writing my code, but you can put it anywhere. The moment you turn it off, is until maybe you close your SQL and you open it again. That's when it's going to ask you to turn it off, because by default, it's going to turn it on for you so that you don't just make mistake to go and delete an information in a database, just like that lady, is it lady or guy that mistakenly deleted all the people's database. Now, the moment you turn it off, right? In as much as your SQL is open, the save mode is off. But if you close it and reopen it again, then automatically turn it on. Do you get it? You turn it on. So you cannot update, you cannot delete. You cannot update and you cannot delete. But the moment you run set SQL underscore save underscore update equals 0, it's going to automatically turn off the save mode. So let's run this. All right, so I've turned off the save mode. Now let's go back to our update and run it. So run this. All right. So 201 rows affected, right? Now let's go and see. Let's run this. Okay, you can now see we have our total selling price, right? Total selling price. Okay. Now let's do the total cost price. So it's still the same thing. I'll just copy this and paste this here. So this is calculating the TSP. So the next one is we are calculating this TCP. Calculating the TCP. So set TCP to be equals to quantity multiplied by cost price instead of unit price, cost price, right? So let's run this. All right, no error. Let's go back and run this our select statement. Now we have our TCP right here, right? We have our TCP right here. So let's calculate our profit. So to calculate our profit, now it's still descending to calculate our profit. So it's now going to be set profit to be equals to TCP, TSP minus TCP. So TSP minus TCP, right? Then, so here we are calculating the profits, right? So then run. All right, no error. Then run this. So here we are back. Any question on this? Hope you are not lost. Hope you are not lost. Is it making sense now? Is it making sense now? Is it making sense? Yes or no? Are you guys still here? Are you guys still here? Yes or no? If you have question. Can't see me typing. Is that correct? But can you hear me? I'm not typing anything now. I've typed everything. Are you guys here? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me and see my screen. Hello? Nobody's saying anything. Okay. Oh, oh, wow. I'm just getting all your comments. I'm just getting all your comments now. I'm just getting your comments. It was not displaying your comments before. All right. My screen, is it still static? Can you see my cursor now? Is it still static?
Hello.
Yeah, can you see my cursor now? Is it still static?
Yes, I can see your screen, but initially when we were doing the calculation, I think we can hear you, but I think your screen was static and we didn't see what exactly we are doing. So I was
Okay.
thinking it was only me, but I'm seeing comment from the chat that it's
Yeah,
not only me.
I'm just saying the comment, and I think the network just went off a bit. But can you see
Okay.
it now?
Yeah, I for the screen I can see it. Unless you try running something before, I'll see whether it's still static.
Okay, let me drop the column again. Right, I've dropped the column. Let's select all again. Right,
No, I think it's still the same.
it's still the same.
Yeah, I can hear you talking, but I can't see anything.
Okay, what about now?
You
Can you
stop
see?
sharing.
I stop sharing. How about now?
Okay, it's now come. Let it come so that I'll see you.
Is this static?
It's static.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So please try and do something. Let me see something.
Okay, let's add the column again. Is this still static?
At my side, it's still the same. I don't know from others. So if others can also bring, I can see the thing. But when you speak ahead of the screen.
Oh, I think it's the network. I'm coming. Let me check the network. I'm coming. Thank you for that, Tina. So, like I said, um, the moment you try to update something, right, it's going to make effect to the database. So that's why by default, it's going to turn off. It's going to turn on your save mode. So if you're trying to update or you're trying to delete something, it's going to make sure that, okay, you are very sure that you want to do it. That's why I turn on the save mode. But you can use this code, set SQL underscore save underscore update. Your update must have S, right, to be equals 0, right? So once you run it, it's going to turn off your SQL update. It's going to turn it off. Now, the moment you turn it off, you can now update it. So what we did here was update retail. That is, I want to do something. I want to update this retail table, and I want to set TSP to be equals to the quantity multiplied by the unit price, which were the column that we have there. So let's run this and see. So if you look at this, quantity multiplied by unit price will give us total selling price, right? So now update our table name, right? Retail, set TSP to be equals to quantity multiplied by unit price. So I'm going to run that and that will take effect. The same thing with total cost price. So it's going to be quantity multiplied by cost price. Then I will run it, and the profit is going to be quantity total selling price minus total cost price. Then run. So if you are to select the three now, if you are to select the table and run, then we have the three calculated for us. Do we understand this? Do we understand it up to this point? Do we understand it up to this point? All right, that's good. So let me use the remaining. I've been training for almost 2 hours now. Right, so I need to take a break. I don't know what's wrong with me these days. If I train for 2 hours, I'll just get tired. Before, I used to train for more than 2 hours. Like I used to have a class from 10 to 12, I have another class from 12 to 2, I have another class from like 3 to like 4, I have another class from 6 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8. Then I will now have maybe data science or data analysis class from 10 to 12. And most of the time I still take class at night, 11 to 12, something like that. Why did you put double? Now, the reason why I put double is because we are expecting a decimal, right? We are expecting a decimal. Do you understand? So because you're expecting a decimal, right, you are putting double. Now, if you are to put decimal, you need to specify the number of whole number and um the number of decimal that will be there. Do you understand? So, but the reason why I put double here is because I'm expecting the decimal and I don't know the number of whole number and the number of decimal after it. So that's why I put double. It's still another form of double. If you check our first class, you'll see it there. All right, thank you, Mr. Ghanem. Now let me take question. We have 5 minutes more. Let me take question. All right, please. Old age. How old am I?
Hello.
Good evening. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Oh,
Go ahead, please.
yeah, please. My first question is that I'm very curious about this save mode. Why is it that when we are dropping tables or we are altering it, it doesn't uh, more or less stop us
It
from
doesn't
doing
work.
it? If
Yeah.
the sense of it is to just block us for not deleting anything or updating it. Why is that when we are dropping it, it allows us to do it?
Yeah, that's the way it was programmed. It allows you to alter, but if you want to update or you want to use the delete keyword, then it's not going to allow that. That's the way it was programmed.
Okay,
Yeah.
and my next question is also is that when we're importing the data into the SQL,
Yeah.
I think Emeka asked a nice question about how do we put the constraints. I don't know. I want to find out, can I create the table, name it, I'll add all my constraints before importing the data so that when the data comes, it just picks
Yeah, sure.
the table. Is it possible that way?
Yeah, sure. Like when I was exporting a data, when I was importing the data, I told you that you can use an existing table. So if you already have an existing table, you can you can create your table and import the data in it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I think that's all that I have for it this
Oh.
evening. And also the last question is yesterday you made mention of we having class tomorrow. I don't know whether it's coming off or not.
Yeah, I don't know. That depends on you people. If you all are available, I will try. I'll try my best to take it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much.
Yeah. Oh, how many of us are available tomorrow? Thank you, Chantel. I'm not old. I'm still a baby boy. Gold. How old am I? Okay. All right. So let me take Frank. Please unmute.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, boss.
Yeah, please, we actually talk about dropping a column.
Yeah.
But I want to know, can we also equally drop a row?
Yeah, you can delete the row.
Okay, what of instance whereby you type something in a row, maybe you type name of someone and you notice there is a mistake in the name. How do you correct it without deleting the row
Yeah, that's
completely?
when we use updates. We are going to do that. If we have class tomorrow, we are going to do that with the
Okay.
update.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that's not even so hard. Maybe we should just do it tonight. Do you think we should do it tonight or we should keep it till next class? Madam for please unmute.
Evening, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Please, I just one is an appeal. Please, are you dropping the codes for the class for us?
I will drop.
All right, thank you very much. So the place that knocked me out was your search profit equal to TSP. The last part there.
Yeah.
After that, is it just to run the code
Yes,
or
just around
we
the
to do
code.
another thing? Okay, you just run the code.
Yeah. Set profit to be equals to TSP minus TCP, then you run it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. But make sure at the end of each code you are closing it. Because if you don't
Uh,
close it, the next code you want to write will be affected and it's going to give you an error.
right. I got that. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Emeka's iPhone, please unmute.
Okay, and it's on the safe mode. The safe mode, was it because we imported a data set? Or the
No,
one you
no,
created as a
it's not because you imported data set. That's how it's going to work for everything. Whether
okay,
you type it in or you import it in, you have to turn off your safe mode before you can update or delete anything.
okay.
Yeah.
It's a good
All right.
okay.
Thank you. Emma, Mr. Emma or Emma, please unmute.
Okay, please. I just want to say a few words concerning your voice shows your state of health, and for us to continue to have you, I would suggest you rest tomorrow. The
Okay.
voice, the quality of you, I know the way you sound. You are very now. It shows you are tired, and tiredness is something you need to rest. Whether people like it or not, you just use tomorrow and rest. Then
Okay.
anytime you are free, we will just take the lecture. Your health first. Health first, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right. Is there any other question? Am I going to rest? Tomorrow is Sunday. Oh, well, I should be able to rest tomorrow. Uh, I should be able to rest tomorrow. I just have one or two meetings to attend. So I'm always having something to do, but even though while I was sick, I still have something to do. Just like yesterday, I still went with my laptop. Mm. It's just part of me. My laptop is my girlfriend, is my wife, is everything. Yeah. If you actually want me to rest, if you take away my laptop, that's when I will become so bored. Right. Well, in as much as I have my laptop, I always have something to do. All right. Thank you. No problem. No problem. So what do you think we should do tomorrow, please? Yeah, come to take my laptop. What do you think? No problem. I will. So what do you think we should do tomorrow? Should we use tomorrow to rest? That's a good discussion, Vero. Okay, I should rest. All right. All right. No problem. So that means we're gonna meet on Friday. So that means we start early on Friday too. We start by 8 on Friday, right? That means we start early. No problem. I will. So we start early on Friday. No problem. Okay. So we start early on Friday by 8 p.m. Nigerian time. That's 7 p.m. Ghanaian time. For those in Cameroon, it's still 8 p.m. All right. Thank you all. Any assignment, your assignment is just, I dropped this data set in the group. So your assignment is try, sorry, your assignment is, no problem. Your assignment is try to like try to change the name. Try to change the first name to your name. Try that, right? Just try it using the updates. But if you can't, just leave it, right? But just try to practice the code around. It's very simple, it's easy, but just try it. Do you understand? It's not compulsory, but just practice, get your hands on it. All right. So I think that is that for tonight. I'm not sure I'll be able to drop the recording this night because I think I need to sleep now. Right. Someone is already calling me for a meeting. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to attend the meeting. So I'm not sure if I'll drop the replay this night, but I'll drop it as soon as I wake up. Do you understand? So I'm very sorry for any inconveniences, but I will work on it tomorrow and send it to the group. So think no problem. All right, no problem. I think that is all for now.